Hey Bears, Eric here, and in today's video, we are once again talking about Star Wars. All right, so in case you missed it, they announced the new director for the upcoming Star Wars movie, the next big Star Wars film, and she's a woman, so the chuds, the grifty people, they're all losing their minds because all of the stuff they've been saying for years now, it's not happening. It's just coming back to haunt them. They've been fantasizing about Kathleen Kennedy being fired, and South Park came out last year and gave them this big boost of validation, and they didn't totally understand the satire of the episode, and it's not a big surprise, but they keep making it seem like women being involved with Star Wars is a bad thing. And then Lucas is like, hey, we're hiring Charmin, who is a documentary maker, filmmaker. She's a feminist, which is a great thing, by the way. I'm tired of people using that as a bad word. It's a great thing. She's really pushing boundaries. And we want her to come in and do something different with Star Wars, which is something that a lot of these chud people have been asking for. They're saying, what you're doing isn't working. They keep telling Lucasfilm this. What you're doing is not working, even though collectively the last three movies brought in $4.475 billion for Star Wars. All the movies performed extremely well financially and collectively a $1.1 billion budget. So it made 4.4 on a $1.1 billion budget. So financially, things look good to them. Star Wars, Lucasfilm, Disney, they don't give a fuck about these guys. They really just don't care. And that makes them really angry because they think they have so much control over the space. And when they talk about quality, it's always one or the other, depending on what their narrative is, right? They would say, okay, even though it made $4.4 billion, the movie still sucked. They did the same thing with Captain Marvel. Captain Marvel made over $1 billion originally, and so they automatically go to their talking points and act like there was some weird outlier that made that first movie successful, as if the placement of the film, the way the film was advertised, all of those things were just by accident. No, the studios did it. They knew how to do it back then. They didn't do it with the most recent Marvel's movie. They didn't promote it like they promoted the original Captain Marvel. So there's other factors at play here, but none of that matters. They just need to be mad. They need to push their narrative. And now it is leaking over already. I mean, literally just within 24 hours of this announcement, we have political pundits and actual politicians talking about Star Wars. So we even had Ted Cruz chime in on this, which is weird because he got dunked on before by Daisy Ridley. We'll talk about that in a second, refresh everybody's memory. But here we have a video. I'm going to make this larger so you guys can see this better. A video clip that Matt Walsh shared, which is misrepresented a little bit to create anger. And we'll listen to the video quickly, but it says, this is from Matt Walsh. It says, here's the feminist director, which, by the way, not a bad word. Feminism is amazing. Of the next Star Wars film, saying that her goal, I want you to keep that word in mind, is to make men uncomfortable. And he goes, this movie is destined to be Disney's biggest flop yet. They say that about everything. Let's listen to what she actually says. She doesn't use the term goal. They use that, and they do that specifically because they're astroturfing. So let's see what she actually says.
What is the balance of activating a force for change, but also trying to permeate that patriarchy, that power structure? And is that a part of the calculation of your art as well? And what's been the reaction to that?
Oh, absolutely. I like to make men uncomfortable. I enjoy making men uncomfortable.
So that was the actual quote, that she likes to, she enjoys to. Now, I want to point this out. This is also at the Women in the World Summit. So it is a summit specifically about women and empowerment for women and that space. Why would you have someone come on there about empowering women and not try to dismantle the problems with the patriarchy? Like what would you expect her reaction to be in that space? Only dumbasses would be like, oh, I'm shocked that she said something progressive and something feminist at a space where that is what they're doing. They're celebrating that. So it's just, again, brain rot. But let's see what Ted Cruz said here about this statement. He goes, Disney is announcing they don't want any men or boys, presumably, to go to the next Star Wars. No, Disney is not announcing that. This is a clip from a summit not connected to Disney. So that's not what they're saying. You are making up a story. You're creating a narrative that doesn't exist. Have they ever actually met a Star Wars fan? Is that a serious question? Is that a serious question? Again, the last three movies with a woman in the lead role made $4.475 billion at the box office. So I think they understand what they're doing. I think they know what they're doing. And so I want to remind you guys that Ted Cruz said some dumb shit before. Let's look at this tweet. So here we go. This is Ted Cruz. I believe this tweet has been deleted, but it says Texan Gina Carano broke barriers in the Star Wars universe. Not a princess, not a victim, not some emotionally tortured Jedi. She played a woman who kicked ass and who girls looked up to. She was instrumental in making Star Wars fun again. Of course, Disney canceled her. Well, it's really interesting that you, as a man, as a white, heterosexual, cisgendered man, you can promote women. You can say women are powerful, they kick ass. You can say all those things, and that's fine. But if a woman says that, then all of a sudden there's an issue. She's not allowed to be proud of those things herself. It's only okay when men afford that to them. That's the way this comes off. However, Daisy Ridley did respond. Now, this is back from 2021. That's when those quotes were from. So again, not his first time saying dumb shit about Star Wars, but she says, I'm very happy to be an emotionally tortured Jedi who doesn't leave their state when it's having a terrible time, which is in reference to him taking a vacation during like just awful conditions in his state, where he was just like, you know what? I'm not taking responsibility. I'm going on a vacation. Anyway, so this is her like hitting back at him for that. Because why are politicians chiming in on Star Wars in a way that comes across like some sort of political thing? Why is it so cultural to them in nature? And it's because a lot of times these right-wing guys don't have anything real, tangible to discuss. So culture war is their fallback. It's the thing they fall back on. And, you know, they kind of let up on the transphobia stuff because it isn't trending well, but misogyny is still on the dish. It's still on the plate for them. And they're still going to throw it out there because there's still a lot of people who don't seem to want to call out misogyny when they see it. And so, but we got one more little clip to look at. This is from Fox News, where it is so tone deaf and so cringe in every way possible. We just have to look at it. We have to point and laugh. By the way, I want to point out they're doing the same thing with their headline. They're saying Star Wars director aimed to make men uncomfortable. It's like they're picking words specifically instead of using like or enjoys. It understands that she was saying it in a moment of like jesting at a women's conference. They're making it seem like Disney made a statement or had her make a statement like this to the people who like Star Wars. This is them trying to create, again, AstroTurf, a space so that their viewers will not go out and support Star Wars, even though we don't know anything about this fucking movie yet. But let's listen to what she has to say here.
Is to make men feel uncomfortable. Guess what? They're not going to watch it. And I'm certainly not going to be the one to pull it up. So just like Captain Marvel, when they try to put these women first agendas into these action movies, they flop. And this is going to do the same. To that.
Anyway, but she's saying this and we have no idea what the movie is. Like, we don't know. Just because the director does things in the film space that does push boundaries and documentaries and stuff like that, that doesn't mean she's going to come in and turn Star Wars into like this docu-series about feminism. We don't know that. We have no idea. We have no idea what this movie is going to look like. Also bringing up Captain Marvel, again, the first Captain Marvel movie made over $1 billion. The first Captain Marvel movie made over $1 billion. The second film had other issues in it that did not have anything to do with the fact that a woman was in the lead role. I'm not really sure why that's so difficult to understand. And I get to the point now where I don't think it's an understanding issue. I think they literally just like to spread misinformation.
And a few data points. Try that in a small town. #1 on iTunes. Sound of Freedom earns 100 million. Top Gun breaks Memorial Day weekend record. Modelo best Bud Light. Ben & Jerry's loses 2 billion. Disney loses 900 million. But best of luck to the feminist director. I'm sure yours will be a hit. Yeah.
That's why I am a Trekkie. Ooh, and not
This is why I know that this kind of stuff is just AstroTurfed. She's a Trekkie, right? She's holding her hand like, first of all, she's holding her hand in the wrong direction, #1. Secondly, Star Trek has also been called woke, feminist, all this other stuff. Most recently, within like, I don't know, the last 5 or 6 years. So she doesn't even know what she's talking about.
we're on in just a moment.
Like, what are you even talking about? What is happening here? Anyway, basically, we're either in a slow news day for conservatives, or they're just AstroTurfing in advance so they can push something else. I guess they feel like something from Daily Wire is going to come along. Are they going to be doing a space opera movie? We tried this Rebel Moon thing on Netflix and it's not doing too well. But what indication do they have that this movie will underperform based on the last 3 Star Wars movies that came out in a trilogy with Rey in it? They have none. There is no indication. This culture war shit is falling off of a cliff for these guys, and they are struggling to hold on to it, which is why she had to announce all these other things that are presumably not woke, that made money at the box office. It's just about smoke and mirrors with these guys. I'm really excited to see what this Star Wars movie is going to be. It's not guaranteed to be a hit, but based on the track record of the last 3 movies, it seems like it's set up to be. So we'll see where they go with that. Look, let me know what you think about this down in the comments below. Are you looking forward to this? How do you feel about all this discourse, this culture war stuff in regards to Star Wars? Are you excited about it? You're not excited about it? Let me know in the comment section down below.